Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins. So it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing today? Today is hump day. That is Wednesday, and there's nothing else that rhymes with day. What's up, Flip?
Hey, what's up? It is Wednesday, and we are here. We are literally here. We haven't been kicked off Twitter. We haven't been kicked off YouTube yet, but we are currently censored.
Yeah, you know, Flip and I are known as the bad boys of the internet. Normally pretty hardcore, pretty badass.
Right? Like I got caught picking my nose once. I was like, hell.
Oh, yeah. You know what I just noticed?
What?
Your eyes on your alien symbol match the FC symbol.
It took you that long to notice that.
I just never looked at them both at the same time, I guess. I was like, hey, look, they're on the same side.
Yeah. I always thought people would know if I had the red on the left instead, or on the right. Yeah. So I was made sure that they were on the correct sides. The correct side.
Right. We need to get some Phantom Collective sunglasses now.
Oh yeah, like look like alien eyes or something.
Well, they're 3D glasses, but they're like the old shitty ones, but with the FC symbol. I don't know. That's what comes to mind. We already got people coming in here. What's up, Wookiee Supremacy? What's up?
So that's why we are censored. We're not allowed to put our faces on here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we were told.
That, and I'm lazy to get my camera, so just gonna not do that. What's up, Atlantean? What's up, the Atlantinator? What's up, James Clark? Hello there, sir. Hello. Wookiee Supremacy says, "Are you? I don't know what he's referring to."
Oh, we're not. No, we're not really censored. We're hoping to get censored, though.
No, I think he was saying like, "Are you guys badasses? Like, are you really?" Like, he's like, "No, you're not. Of course not." Yes, it's the bad boys of the FC. Yep, we just have our leather jackets and sunglasses and motorcycles and kick ass. There's just too much.
I'm so hard on a motorcycle right now in my man's jockey underwear, sporting a really cool pose. And there's fog behind me and stage lights. It's pretty badass.
Hell yeah, man! My Subway job totally pays for all that. We very well funded.
Right?
Yes, indeed. Well, I guess hold on. Was that Rookie has an Internet Explorer moment? A what?
I don't know. It's funny because I don't get it, but
no. See, Internet Explorer sounds like an ancient browsing device. I know what that is, but I don't remember using it ever.
Way back in my day, we used to use it to see if we could get a dial tone on our telephone.
Back in my day, we had the Internet Explorers, and it was before Firefox and Google Chrome. One of those old things over there.
They got rid of wires. I was really surprised about that.
You ever have an exploring internet?
I've looked around, but I couldn't find one that explored anything.
I couldn't find one either. I thought that the internet going exploring, that should be a TV show where the internet tries to go somewhere without any internet.
I bought some tennis shoes.
See how well it can survive.
I got some tennis shoes for mine, but he never put them on.
Son of a bitch. Get something for free. You're supposed to use that shit.
Yeah, I don't think he explores.
I heard there's a whole family that can live inside of one shoe. And that's where the internet is right now.
Yeah. That's where everybody went. They went into there's an old lady, and she takes care of this shoe, and she doesn't know what to do.
Called the Sister Sapphire. That's supposed to be another thing that's just like Internet Explorers. It's just called Sapphire, and it's another shit, thing that's just like the internet, but it's not. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
I'm based on what we're talking about tonight. I'm like, is there really that? Like,
No, there is actually on a Mac. Like you have a PC, right?
No, I have a MacBook.
Yeah, don't you? Isn't there like a Sapphire browser?
I don't know. Let me check here.
Like it's like a weird old browser, but like for Mac only.
It might be like an older Macs. This one's
Yeah,
like,
it should be on an older Mac. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if new Macs have them because an older one had like I'm talking about when I was like in high school.
oh, back in back in the 90s.
I mean, for me, back in the early 2010s, but yeah.
Right. No, back in the 90s, they had MacBooks. They were just like $3,000, and only really, really rich people had them. But no, I don't see a Sapphire logo or whatever.
FANZCENE says it's Apple's, so there must be one somewhere on there.
Sapphire.
Somewhere on there, there's a browser for Sapphire.
Oh, there's like this blue gem here. No, I'm kidding. I don't see anything like that.
I think Sapphire was like a clock, but it's supposed to be like an internet browser, like Firefox. Is weird.
Well, there's QuickTime, and that looks like a clock, sort of. But
maybe I'm getting that confused. I don't remember. It was from ancient times, a good dozen years ago or so. I don't know.
Sapphire sounds gay.
It is pretty dumb. I don't remember. Does anybody ever use Sapphire that has Apple in the chat? I don't know. FANZCENE, do you use the Sapphires? The Atlanta's probably like, I just said Internet Explorer, and they've been on this tangent for like 10 minutes.
I use Sapphire.
Sapphire is so salty.
It's
salty.
Yeah.
Very salty. But
it's
yes,
bright and shiny, and it gets me everywhere.
Gets everywhere. Too much. But I guess so the point of this stream today, I guess we're just hanging out, chilling a little bit, and seems like everybody's migrating from away from Twitter and from other places. People are questioning all the social media platforms that they're on right now, and everybody kind of wants to have a backup one, or a one that doesn't censor things quite as much. The Trump, was it just Trump or Republican sites and other things that were removed or silenced recently?
Any conservatives that have been outspoken, libertarians, sure, they've been kicked off the internet. My own mother was kicked off of Twitter. Permanently banned, and she never really did anything except retweet people. So it's been everybody on the right for the most part, like anyone outspoken or even willing to retweet the outspoken. So I actually understand the Twexit 2.0 or whatever we're calling this, and I really don't blame anybody either. I mean, it's been a long, hard road building the FC up to, where we're at. I know that other people have had, good luck on Twitter. Got, maybe hell, my own mom has 7,000 people, and she just, like I said, retweeted. But it's hard to say goodbye to something when you worked really hard on it. But even still, I think if we had to, we would switch. We're looking into other places to go, not to permanently jump ship, but to have a what'd you call it, Rookie?
We're setting up a vacation house and some other locations, to visit every now and then. We still live at Twitter, but if something happens to Twitter, we can definitely move into one of our vacation houses. So that's how I'm phrasing it right now.
We've come across some very interesting names of other types of social media platforms.
Minds is one that we're checking out. There's Gab, there's PeerTube, there's Odyssey, there's like some alternate YouTube ones, there's some alternate Twittery type of ones. I heard some people want to go back to MySpace.
Jesus, no.
Which is like maybe I haven't checked them out since I was in middle school. I have no idea. For all we know, they're pretty user friendly. I have no idea.
I found a really good one. I'm surprised people aren't all over this. It's XXX.com. Anything like it?
Was that like porn website or something?
Oh, is that illegal?
Oh no, I'm just saying, is that a porn site or no?
I'm just kidding.
For all the kids typing in XXX.com, let me go find that out.
I wanted to see if anyone typed anything like, oh my God.
That would be funny. But yeah, so I've been checking out a couple of these sites, and I mean, yeah, they seem pretty interesting. Odyssey seems like a pretty good YouTube comparison to it. You know, like it's still going to be some work on it, but I was just watching a video on there, and there's actually a couple other videos I kind of want to check out on there, just simply browsing a little bit. Seems like they have some good stuff over there so far. And if anything, though, there's probably a lot of categories that they don't have at the moment, or a lot of videos about certain topics if they're more on YouTube and not on Odyssey. So if you're trying to build, you know, a following of some kind, this is kind of a good little starter point. You know, this goes for a lot of people, for a lot of social media platforms right now. There's so many that aren't the big dogs, that aren't even considered top 10 of anything, and they could end up being one of the next ones. Parler was becoming the rival to Twitter, and that shit got shut down. Like,
yeah,
crazy.
That is totally an antitrust lawsuit building, and they have a good chance of winning if the courts aren't, you know, corrupt.
Are they suing somebody?
Yeah, no, they're suing. You're suing Apple, Amazon, and Twitter. Maybe more people, because they got a breach of contract with, like, I don't know, something like 20. Well, no, 20 different places said no to them, and that number may be plus or minus a few, but they are suing Apple, Amazon, and Twitter for antitrust reasons and breach of contract. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, hopefully they'll prevail, because that seems very, very bizarre on their part. And honestly, I don't understand how that helps them in any way, shape, or form, or how they're like claiming that, oh, what was their beef with Parler? I actually don't even know.
Well, all the conservative people, when they were getting booted, went straight over to Parler. Of course, the original Twexit is where people started going to Parler. What was it, back in June? Something around June or July.
Yeah, it was months ago.
Yeah, and so once everyone started doing that, they were realizing what could happen when they pulled the trigger, because they wanted to pull the trigger on Trump a lot earlier. And so they kind of watched this play out, and they knew what to do. So as soon as everyone started running over to Parler, because we all pretty much had Parler accounts anyway, right? Like many of us anyway, most of us. So that's when they decided, no, if they're just going to leave us and go there, then we'll take care of it there. We don't want them to have a voice. It's just pure censorship at its truest form. Kushner from God, I can't remember where this guy's from, but anyway, he made sure Trump did not get on Parler. Like, he kept pushing for him not to get on there for some reason. So it's been a real strange situation.
Well, I think with Parler, I think there's a few specific instances where they were trying to say that, oh, you can't allow them to post these specific things of some kind, and we're blaming Parler for allowing, like, people to freely speak, I suppose, was more the thing with it, which seemed, yeah, because I don't know, because then, like, Twitter posts the other day or something, oh, we're about, we're not about censorship or something, because they're talking about some president election thing going on in some other country.
Uganda.
Yeah. And it's like, huh, well, that seems to be why Parler was removed, because of what they allow, their amount of freedom that they allow with it, which is odd. You see, I'd say Parler is not that good of a place, to be honest, as far as its functionality. But, it's a different option, and it takes some getting used to. And if people want to be there, that's where they should be, I suppose. It's kind of ridiculous it's ridiculous to remove it as an option.
Yeah, and I liked it okay. It was not as easy and fluid. I think that's a better word. It wasn't as fluid as Twitter is, but it still served a very similar, if not the same purpose, I guess. Again, though, it wasn't as fluid. Not that I wouldn't go back. If they pop back up, I'm definitely going to hop on there, as I'm sure a lot of conservatives will. Now, a lot of you guys might not know this, but I'm actually libertarian. But I lean much further right than probably a lot more libertarians, but that makes me a conservative for the most part, and I absolutely disagree with this freedom of speech violation, and that's what it is. And in no uncertain terms, it is trying to take our voice away, and that did happen. And they were like, Uganda, they were having their elections, which I think are today or tomorrow, and so they blocked out Twitter from being able to, like, the entire country, which I think is as big as Maine.
Yeah. A little bitty country, adorable, poor little country.
The entire country. But yeah, so yeah, they didn't allow any social media, from what I understand, to influence the election on these last 2 days leading up to their election, which pissed off Twitter, and they're like, hey, that's taking people's voices away. But they didn't see the irony. Gosh, I don't know if any of you guys watched Dr. Steve Turley on YouTube, but he ran over this pretty good earlier, so check him out, and you can see a real good vlog about it.
Well, and it's like, it's not, so like Twitter isn't the one that removed Parler. That was like Google and Amazon or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was really their servers were with Google and, you know, I guess Amazon, but Twitter got together with Apple, and they, you know, I don't know what their corporate push is or what their angles were or how they could twist the arm of these places, but that's what they did.
Because I feel like, especially if Parler was more with Amazon, or could be more with Amazon, that'd be a great move for Amazon going forward, or something, to have some type of a social media platform.
Oh, and Jeff Bezos's social media empire. Why not? Like, he does everything else. He's almost up there with Elon Musk when it comes to, you know, not being rich, but yes, being rich, but also with, you know, just companies and futurist mind.
And if he was able to have Parler, I mean, even if he wanted to make his own at some point, I think that'd still be good to have as an asset and like as an option, and then also build his own different one that might be more interconnected with Amazon and social activity.
Well, what frustrates me is that there are so many. Not that it should be limited. I don't mean that in terms of a monopoly in any way. But what frustrates me is that there are so many spread out now, and almost all of them are on the same side as Twitter when it comes to conservative values and Trump specifically. But I wish that there was one place we could, for the most part, people of a similar mindset could go, and not for an echo chamber, but for a place you can meet similar-minded people. You know, like farmers.com. I know it's a place to find a date, yes, but
well, yeah, you want to go where people are at, or you want to go where your friends are going to be at, or where whatever you want to look at is going to be at.
You want to go where everyone knows your name.
Essentially, I mean, that's kind of where it is. I mean, like with Twitter, so many people are attached there because it's where so many people that they interact with are. And when they go to another one, like Minds, for example, there's some people there, but there's not everyone there. There's not all the people that were on the other platform that's over there. You can't really see. And then if there's all these people going to, you know, all these different places, well, they might be there sometimes, or they might not be there at all, but they're at their own different one. And if you don't want to stretch out to these other ones, I mean, that's kind of the tough thing. But in a way, that's kind of how modern society is. You got to be on multiple platforms, I guess, to interact with people.
Yeah, and everyone's scattered out, though. Like, okay, so I agree with the being with people that maybe don't have the same, you know, mindset, that don't agree all the way. That's actually very interesting. You know, you can find, well, it's like going to multiple different restaurants. There's always a new taste, a new flavor. It's variety.
Yeah.
You might not like it, but you tried something new. So
yeah,
I agree with that. However, in certain times when normally America would come together, we are more divided than ever. So it'd be nice to be able to be with the people that agree and have similar mindset. But because everything is so spread out, I think that didn't work out really well for a lot of us. When we switched, there was no real plan, because Parler was the plan, and then Parler was gone. But it should be an interesting thing to watch. It's also hard to say that you know how things are going to turn out, you know, because what you've got is a court system that's apparently fully corruptible or corrupt already, allegedly. And then you've got, these corporate entities that are clearly able to break antitrust laws, break the First Amendment. So you don't know when you hear that there's this mega lawsuit going to go down where Parler is going to sue Twitter. You don't know what to think anymore. You don't. Me personally, I think, it'll be a great lawsuit because they have really good standards.
Parler's not suing Twitter because Twitter didn't do it. They're suing like Amazon or Google or whomever removed them from their app stores.
No, they were part of it. They're in the lawsuit. It is definitely against Amazon, Twitter, Apple, and
I don't know what they could sue Twitter for specifically, because even though they might not be for Parler, I don't see how suing them would affect anything. As in, I don't think Twitter directly affected them. I'd say the places that allowed Parler to be there and then removed them, that's where I'd say the issue lies.
Well, I see your point, but from what I read earlier, it looked like Parler's lawsuit is definitely going to be affecting Amazon, but somehow also affects Twitter. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know how.
Shotgun shot, I guess, and scatter bullet.
Well, the servers were at Amazon mainly, and Google, but somehow, because I think what it is that they were strong arming them to do it. And there's an antitrust law in there where you're trying to build a monopoly. And it's an antitrust law. If you ever look into those, you'll see that one of them is you're not allowed to have a monopoly. By Twitter getting these companies to do this, like Amazon, Google, and Amazon and Google, if they even had to go this far, because I'm sure they have powerful attorneys in a corrupt, court anyway. So, but if they had to, they'd be like, "Oh, it's Twitter's fault." But they can't technically say that if the lawsuit includes Twitter, and it should, because they're trying to get a monopoly by being able to shut down other companies and being the reigning, platform for social media. I mean, forget all the government stuff. There's a lot of stuff there too.
Just as a private company part you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's like Disney and Google and Twitter should all just have a three-way, I guess, because that seems to be what the similar type of concepts in mind of control.
When I was God, so hard. When you get my age, you're going to find it's very hard to say when I was your age, but sometimes the moment is just right. And when I was your age, America was just so different. I grew up the grandchild of a World War II family, for lack of a better description. But, the Reagan years were really good. My family was happy. The economy seemed really good. And after that, I didn't pay. I mean, I was just a kid. I just didn't want nuclear war. So after all those nightmares went away, my parents were like, "It's okay now." I'm like, "Okay, great." And I didn't focus on any politics. But we didn't have tech oligarchs. We had actual worry of, somebody like Hitler rising back up, or, being surprise attacked by Japan for some reason. But there was, or Russia specifically was the big one. But never anything like this. You guys are growing up in a time, I say you're growing up. I mean, I know you're in your late 20s, but you guys are experiencing something just behind me, or at least my age group, that I want you to know it's not the way it's supposed to be, and anyone younger, in their teens, definitely it's not supposed to be this way. Everything you're seeing is backwards from what it's supposed to be. So as badly as I'd like to see, and I'd like to say that this is going to be an incredible lawsuit, that it's going to be scandalous and the media is going to cover it. I don't know that the media is going to cover it. I don't know that it's going to be scandalous. It might not even go down in front of us. It might just be some behind the doors a deal where somebody makes an extra cool $1 million and they forget it and they keep screwing us. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable, and it's hard to see what the truth is. Before, I also feel like it was whatever was in your face was kind of what was there, as to where now it's like everyone's trying to get your attention. So you don't really know what is accurate or not. Is this the truth attention, or is this fake attention? What? Or is there nuggets of truth along with some, fillery lies or something?
Yeah. So what it comes down to is by having so many of these options like Minds and what was that one? Peer Vision?
There's Gab, there's PeerTube, Odyssey.
Yeah. Odyssey. By having so many of them and no one specifically, like no leader to say, hey, come over here. We're all over here. We're all scattered and very confused.
Well, I'd say it's kind of like the aftermath of a battle. There's, you're going to retreat and regroup, and you don't know where to go yet, but people are still figuring out their way to it. But I mean, I'd prefer there being these different options and no direct leader rather than there's just Twitter or nothing. There's Twitter and then there's all these other little options that may not be as unified yet. But I mean, I kind of feel like that's the thing. And that's kind of where, if you look at how YouTube started, like that's kind of how it happened. Somebody somewhere did something. Like we look at PewDiePie, for example. He somehow got onto everybody's, screens, notifications. Everybody saw him, and he grew massively and became a big reason for other people to do something similar. And other people posted other things and whatnot. And YouTube grew to this gigantic type of thing where all these people can, interact on there, I guess. So I don't know. It's I feel like something can happen with some of these other sites as well. Facebook, that was very similar to MySpace, took off.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of good opportunity right now. If you're one of the people who get on the right social media platform and get started early enough, and enough to network and collaborate and get in the thick of it, not afraid to get your clothes dirty. Yeah, you can get some real good luck going into it, and maybe even come out the other end of this year with a whole lot of subscribers and but to boot. But that's another thing. Like, I'm not against the variety of it all, not at all. But I do wish there was a clear and concise. You said it was a lot like a battle, right? After battle, but I feel like it's a lot more like. It's like that, but it's a lot more like, hey, our city just got nuked. Let's go over to this other city. Oh, shit, we got nuked here too. And so that's really where, like, I'm coming from. Like, now we're all scattered to going different cities, and we're not sure which is going to be the best city. And a lot of us are going to find that a lot of these places still suck after, a few months. So.
Well, I agree, but I think that the massive influx of people, it'll take time to adjust. They could strengthen and become something better in the long run. Like even StreamYards, for example. StreamYards isn't a social media platform, but its functions were very simplistic and very minimal at the start. And now look at it. It's got so many different features and add-ons now. Its servers have increased. I haven't seen as many glitchy problems with people as often. They've improved. Because of the massive influx. When Google Hangouts went away, everyone came to play.
Yeah, I hope that they get their mobile app working better one day. That would be such a
that's something they got to improve for sure. But regardless, they've at least for their website has been working pretty well for connecting and streaming seamlessly and pretty simply, and has enough features, and they add on new stuff every couple months, it seems. So that's the kind of example I'm looking at. And if there was other streaming places that had some better options, then I wouldn't mind looking at them as well, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But yeah, James Clark said MeWe. I thought it was WeWe. I thought it was WeWe.com or something.
I'm on WeWe too.
MeWe.com. Right, I'll check that one out as well. And what's up, Warville Nation? Good to see you.
Hail.
Good to see you, buddy. I'll actually talk to you soon, man. I haven't talked to you in a while. According to Christie's over here, says I miss Google Hangouts. Yeah, I know, right? You could still do a Google Hangouts, Christy. You just can't live stream a Google Hangouts necessarily. I don't think you can. Not directly to YouTube, but you could still do it like a Google Hangouts call. They still exist.
Well, Rookie, what I was really getting at is I like the variety, but what I don't like is the shakeout. We're gonna have to go through this time period of shaking everything out. And do you guys in the chat, and please answer me through the chat, but also you, Rookie. So if everyone's leaving Twitter, and I've noticed a bunch of people are leaving, like some people have lost thousands of their followers. So we've been lucky. We've lost under 100, so that's pretty good. But do we stay? Do you guys think we should stay on Twitter?
Well, this kind of goes with your point a second ago, is that there's no one place people are going to right now. So if we were to leave Twitter right now, nobody would find us.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's why I'm frustrated about this, because I feel like I would really like to move it, but until everything shakes out and we know where the cities are that are, I keep saying cities, where the apps are that are the best, app that everyone kind of flocks to, and it starts to improve, and hopefully it's 2 or 3. I really like the variety, the options.
Yeah.
Until we know for sure, I like the idea of the vacation house, but I don't know where's going to be the best one of those to choose either. And I guess ultimately we probably shouldn't leave yet, right?
Right. I'm under. We're staying here. This is still our home. It hasn't been destroyed yet, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to take a gander at our vacation houses, see if they need a little dusting up and before we can move in, or see how many people move into the neighborhoods at the vacation houses and see how they're doing. Pretty much. For people in the chat that don't know what I mean by vacation house, that's the other apps. That's just how I'm phrasing it. Our home's on Twitter at the moment as far as the SC, but we're looking to move, but we got some little reservations for some other houses to go to, other apps, and are gonna try to spruce it up a little bit here and there, and maybe visit it every now and then, see who else comes to the neighborhood, and we'll be more on one than the other at some point, maybe. Hard to say.
Chris,
go ahead.
I gotta stay on Twitter, even though I think it sucks, and I agree with that. It does suck. It's one-sided. It's like being in the bad guy's backyard.
Pretty much, or it's like Stockholm, or not Stockholm. It's something where you're captive, but you can't leave. Like you can technically leave, but you'll die. Like you go ahead. It's like holes. Go out there. There's all these options. Go ahead, but you'll pretty much die. So might as well stay here. It's like, oh shit.
Oh, you're referencing holes. That's one I haven't seen in forever. So in the end of that, he has to pick a hole, right? Is that right?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
It's like it was like they were searching. Okay, that's another topic for another time. You can watch holes. Talking about holes. They're looking for treasure from Kissing Kate Barlow or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he knew which one had more, like which hole had the other stuff in it. And nobody was digging in that hole or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Katie says, unfortunately, I don't think I have a big enough following to even move over to another platform. Well, I'd say that's kind of the thing. Even if you don't fully move over to another one, I'd say it's good to at least have an account somewhere else and kind of interact on there on occasion or post a link here or there. That way, if at some point, the more people that go and hang out somewhere, the more people are going to want to hang out there. Like, when you and your friends want to go do something, you kind of want to do it together. You don't want to just do it alone. So, if you can get some other friends to come along with you and hang out every now and then you'll start making you'll bring the party to that place and make that place the party place rather than it being just the, random shack.
Yeah. There's a whole other aspect to this too. We don't know what's going to happen. I've never seen a government and corporations act so cat and mouse, cloak and dagger.
Oh yeah.
It's insane, man. I've heard over the last 5 days, I've heard everything from stay strong, have faith, it's about to go down, and I'm like, what's about to go down?
The end of the world is here, and look forward strongly. It's like, huh?
It'll be okay. It's the end of the world, but it's okay. Like,
right.
I've never, that whole That whole thing. Hold on. I know Orville said something here. I see Twitter community is more eclectic than people say it is. Yeah. I guess there are extremists in every place you go. There just seems to be a lot more voices. They're loud. I think that's all it is. They're just louder. That's fair. But it's a very disparate. How do you say it's a disparity? The time of despair, whatever the hell that means, and people are all looking for answers. And I've never seen a time like this. So it's really interesting to. I didn't even know there was a Rumble or an Odyssey or any of these things. I've been sort of like the dog with the weird cone around its neck.
Yeah.
When it comes to Twitter and YouTube, I'm like, that's all there is. That's all there is.
Yes.
But apparently there's more. And while I'm willing, I went on to Minds, by the way. Rookies on Minds. I think FALON and FANZCENE are on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Geeks and Gamers is on there.
Yeah.
Or at least D-Day Cobra. So that one seems pretty good. I think there's even a way you can make money on it, right?
Yeah, there's some type of monetization thing with it. I haven't looked into all the features entirely yet. I'm trying to explore some of it as we go. But yeah, it looks like there's tokens or some donation things you can kind of do, or membership things where you can add tiers, kind of like a Patreon or like a membership thing on YouTube. But I'm not really sure how that works yet. Really, it's almost like they want you to post more content there too.
Mm-hmm.
Which from what I could tell, you can post videos and stuff. That's nice, though. It doesn't seem like they have a GIF generator at all, so that's kind of a downer a little bit, because sometimes it's easier to respond with a little GIF from here or there. And as far as we can tell, Twitter's GIF selection is quite vast.
Yeah, and it's funny, we have become a commodity. Humans have become a commodity. Really, they are using our information, our personal information. And think about it. So there is this Rumble, right? Or I don't know, make one up, called Bill's Corner or something. And you're like, well, I want to go on the Bill's Corner app. And then you go there and there's nobody there. Like, I don't know, 500 people or something. And it's like, it's not very exciting. The chances of running into someone who, is going to like what I like, it's, only 1 in 500. But then you've got all these other apps and these platforms. And so how do you get 10 million people to switch from one to another? And I think that's part of what's going on here. And I find that very strange, because I would think that Twitter, who lost $5 billion the other day, at least in stocks or whatever, is what I understand, you would think they would not want to lose that money, and they wouldn't want people to go to other platforms. But they didn't care enough that they were basically breaking the law. I know literally Section 230. I know it very well. I'm not an expert at it. I know it well enough, let's put it that way, that they could get away with what they're doing, and almost any platform could. But by giving away that, or at least wielding that power, they lost a lot of money. A lot of people left completely, never to return again. And a lot of the people in our group, which in the bigger scheme of things is relatively small, left as well. Some are trickling back in to see what's going on. Maybe I'll stay for a little while. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, we're being treated like a commodity that's tradable on a world scale. And I find that disturbing. And also, it makes me almost not want to do any social media at all. I left Facebook vowing never to get on social media again, because for me, you got to remember, I was following a divorce, and I was like, screw this place. I'm not seeing anything I like on here, so goodbye. But in the end, I came back to social media. It's addictive, it's fun, and you get to meet people, which is the best part, good and bad. But ultimately, we're just a commodity to these people. So
yeah, I think with the C virus as well, we're just becoming fat cows. Just consume over here to the trough. that we pick for you. That's pretty much it.
Stream Elements, check that out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying right here. So this is our we got a little $5 donation from Curtis YZ. Thank you, broski. We really appreciate that. It says, whoa, man, like you could have gotten a sandwich with that. Thank you, friend. Appreciate it.
Is that a quote from something?
No, I don't think so. I was trying to sound like I'm high, I guess. I don't know if that's how he sounds, but the whoa man makes me think, whoa. What's his name? Keanu Reeves. Kind of. Whoa, man! Like you could have gotten a sandwich with that. Thank you, bro.
Whoa, totally
tubular. Appreciate that, broski. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
What does that say? Resolute gem. Okay, yeah. Twitter's GIF. God damn it! That said girlfriend for a sec.
Yeah.
Like, what? Twitter's GF generated. Yeah, the GIF generated is extremely lacking if you want anything beyond generic. Well, yeah, I agree, but it has one compared to others that don't, I suppose, was my point there. Right, Kitty says, I guess mine's is like a Twitter and YouTube function or fusion. I think you can post regular posts and you can post videos too. Yes, exactly. It looks like you can post like a live video type of thing too.
It's like it's got a little bit of a Patreon action to it too.
Exactly, some kind of memberships. What's up, Classic Glue? How's it going with you? What's up?
So Twitter GIFs. What's really interesting is if let's say Luke Skywalker isn't very interesting to the left, they don't like him, right? Well, it's hard to find a good Luke Skywalker GIF. I mean, you get a couple of generic ones and that's it. But there's Rey ones out the ass.
Oh yeah,
I've noticed. So yeah, they're not just generic; they're also socially GIFist, like racist, but GIFist.
Bastards.
Can't think it through.
Yeah. Classic Glue says, listen, everything has a shelf life. ICQ gone, AIM gone, MySpace gone. Who? Yahoo? What's that? Yeah.
Right.
I know what he means. I think I agree with him on that. And at some point in time, I think that Twitter will decline. And I think this is really the beginning of its tumbling downward spiral in a way. I think that it'll still exist and people will still use it. And it'll be probably, a top 10 user function for a while. But I agree. I think that some others might end up taking its place at some point. People will just be tired of the bird, I
think you're right. I think you're definitely right, Classic Blue. Everything has a shelf life. Something bigger and better will come along, and we'll all move over there. And but one thing's true. When MySpace was out, I never got on that. I was Facebookers, and then I got tired of that for multiple reasons, not just emotional reasons, but other reasons. And then I became this person who had to have multiple platforms. So yeah, while Twitter will probably go the way of the dodo, and so will ultimately YouTube, it may be in the future where we're God, now that I think about it, we've got YouTube, Twitter, Patreon. We had Parler there for a minute. That was 4 just with us. And so, but I think it's just going to expand to where people have more and more and more, and then ultimately condense it down to one when somebody gets it right and says, very much like Minds, you've got a YouTube, a Twitter, and you've got a Parler, a Patreon. Jeez, there's so many names.
Yeah, well, I think in general that kind of thing is going to happen. It's kind of like with fast food, I suppose. There's there's McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's, Wendy's, whatever, and those are all big corporations now. I think that kind of thing can happen with all these other things. I mean, there's Snapchat, Instagram, Flutie Flaw is going to be one at some point, probably. Could do really well. And I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the thing. People will go where I guess they feel more comfortable or where more of their friends are going to, and if the functions that they make are pretty cool. The filters that they put on, in Snapchat or Instagram, whatever, those seem to attract people's attention to it. They have fun with that. It makes the interactions funnier, last a little bit longer. The only reason I joined Twitter at all was to have a way for people to message me if they wanted to from YouTube. That was it. Like, that was the only intention was, hey, if somebody that watches a video of mine on YouTube wants to talk about something at some point, like movies or whatever, sure, there it is. That was it. And then it became the networking, machine for it, essentially.
Yeah. The founding fathers got our own individual Twitters, and we were just messing with it for a month or so, and thought, hey, here's a good idea. And so after that, it became more than just a way for someone to contact us. It was some way to market our channels and individually and as a group. But there'll be some other way to do it even better. Yeah. I do want to say this about Rumble. I do like the idea because it's kind of like based on a viral scheme, right? So it looks to me, now I've only had limited experience. I know I have an account. I just don't know how to use it, so I don't hop over there a lot, especially considering there's almost 300 people that we're posting per day on the Phantom Collective, so I spend a lot of time on Twitter. But as well as Fallon and Penny, so don't want to underscore that at all. I mean, I do want to underscore that. But anyway, Rumble is like a viral-based thing, so it's like the more votes your video gets, the higher up the chain it goes. Is that how I'm seeing that? Is that right?
Maybe.
You don't even know. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I got you. Well, it looks like it to me, and the higher you go, the more money you can make, and et cetera. And so you really do want your, I think the term is you want to rumble viral or something like that.
Right. Well, I think that's kind of similar with podcasts or like with Podbean or something. Yeah, like the more hits you get, the more revenue you could potentially make, even if it's very small. But that's why if you can go viral with it, then you can make quite a little bit of chunk there. Your penny, your pocket change.
I like that idea, actually, because if I happen to put out a video that's about, I don't know, squirrels because I think they're funny or whatever, that's not something I really like. But if I put them in it, it totally squashes, man. It sucks. Like, people don't like it. I know better. I'm not going to do another one. I don't have to put out 5 and 6 videos and say, well, I really like squirrels. Damn it. Why don't people like squirrels?
Squirrels. No.
But I put out a video of making fun of some political figure, and it's all fun and games. People think it's good. I know what to do more of. I don't have to wait through 5 or 6 videos and go, wait a minute, this is working. And the money really, I hate to say it, but because of the way our society is set up, the almighty dollar, it kind of rules all. So it teaches people. Whereas I've found that it takes a lot of talking to people to get them to understand, hey, you need to make a thumbnail. Hey, you need to put your titles on your thumbnails. Hey, you need to network with people. A lot of people get that right off the bat, but others not so much. But when you put money into it, when like, hey, you don't really have any followers, you just jump on a platform and boom, all of a sudden people are starting to pour money on you. Yeah, I think you would understand, what your setup is. So it's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Hell yeah. We got a lot of people coming in right here, right now. What's up, everybody? Coming on in. Daytona Falls dropped by. We had TW TG content. What's up? I saw a few other people come in as well. We got super fan Adam Shahan. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
In a while.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Check your phone real quick, or the private chat real quick.
No, I did. I responded.
Oh, I didn't see it over here. Or no, wait, is it? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I have a little screen share thingy that I'm not using, but it's like, it used to minimize, but instead it just like has a little arrow on the side of my screen, and that's covering right where the little red thingy would be for the chat. So I was like, what?
Oh,
didn't see it.
My response is 3 letters long, so yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all good. But yeah, so why don't you talk to the chat for a sec while I go.
All right. Let me pull this up. Nothing like being caught with your pants down. I have no idea. Let me pull this up real quick, see where we're at with everybody. James, it's good to see you, man, by the way. I meant to say that earlier. Thank you for coming. Refreshing my. There it is. Oh, I can tell when Rookie likes my thumbnails because he puts them on the video.
The last one, I think I forgot. I got a little jumble. I was short on time. I was eating Red Robin right before our stream, and I had to have ETEP open for us.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is he's right. I mean, really, sometimes it's a matter of him forgetting, or we get busy. But that last one, I almost was like I regretted using that picture too because of the way things went down. So I'm glad you forgot that one.
You go good, yes.
Yeah. So let's see. Classic Glue. I'm going back a little bit. Said reviews the syncing on BitChute is a YouTube formatting issue. Oh, the syncing on BitChute is a YouTube formatting issue that they change things in the background to slow the process down. You know, I got on BitChute maybe six or so months ago. I put out, I think it was BitChute. It might have been Gab. It was one of those. And I found that the process was really slow as well. What is the one? This will help me, remember which one I was on. But you basically have to go like people's stuff to gain sort of like a credit, like sort of the social credit or whatever, and then people can come to yours, or you can see more people to follow more people. Maybe that's Gab, or I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them. I deleted off my phone. I thought that was a ridiculous setup. But as far as BitChute goes, if I went there, Glue, I don't remember exactly how it went. A lot of people were asking me to get on there, though, and it sounds like you're unhappy with it a little bit. Let's see.
Yeah, from what I could tell, BitChute is okay, but I don't know. It's not. I don't really want to go there or upload anything there. I don't know.
Right. Some are just like even still, I like the idea of Rumble, but I don't like the execution. It's so chaotic to me. I like good and orderly, something I can kind of process in my mind and put into files in my mind. And so if I can do that also on my screen, I feel more comfortable managing my output. But yeah. Gonna get you on YouTube videos. Oh, it looks like Riot might have left. Okay, have a good one, Riot. What were you doing, Rook?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. I'm back.
Okay.
It's all good. I was actually going to put the link in the chat for a little bit. I mean, we're going to close out pretty soon. That way, people can join if they want. I guess say their little piece on this, because it's a big old conversation. I know y'all probably can't type it all out in the chat, so we're gonna close out in probably 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. I'm not sure, but I assume 20 at least.
Yeah.
And you guys can pop in if you want to say your word.
Well, I can say this also while we're waiting on people to want to pop in here. In Russia, that whole internet thing that people like to do. They don't get to talk to people. They don't get to use the internet outside of their country. So, as bad as things are, there is a small upside, and that's to say that we are still able to have people in our chats from, say, England, Japan. I mean, John from eHacker. We're able to see them, talk to them. Who else am I thinking of? Stevie J out of where's he? Australia.
Yep.
Australia, mate. They're over there.
Hey, yeah.
They can get on that thing called the internet.
Kangaroos.
Yeah, Captain. Well, I don't know why I just said Captain, but yeah. So that's good. I mean, that's an upside. In Russia, I think they're kind of stuck making sure that before anything they do or say gets published within the country, it has to go through this sort of algorithm. And maybe that's where we're heading here in America. I don't know. It doesn't look really good. And I'm actually curious, Rookie, where are you on all the censorship situation?
like in what way, I suppose, because there's a lot of different avenues. I don't think it's good to censor things unless it's like there's some things like if you post like a real dead body or something from somewhere, it's like, well, that's somebody's life, it's personal, whatever, all of that. I don't know. We do have a guest back here, by the way. What's up, man?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. How's it going?
Great. Thanks for letting me in.
Hell yeah. What do you think about all this stuff, man? About the different social media?
The screen change, so I missed the last minute and a half of what you guys were saying. What do you talk about?
Well, that's all good. Go ahead, Flip.
We're rambling about
censorship stuff.
Yeah,
it's a terrible thing what's happening now. Like, we're going with the extremes, yes, like dead bodies, stuff like that. That's something that's basic human decency. What the censorship is going on right now goes way beyond basic human decency.
Yeah.
Okay, a sitting president. And now they're pushing out everyone who's a patriot is now a terrorist. What's going on here? This is nutso. I came here for Star Wars.
That's the important thing.
Damn it.
Well, it's getting pretty serious, guys. And I gotta say, like, I just turned 46 the other day. I grew up with Star Wars. I love it, all that. I didn't know how much I loved it until Disney bought it. And then I'm like, oh, I see this bullshit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But, and now look at our country, and it's a lot to take in. What we have to do, stay sane, and then use our outlets like Star Wars and other stuff like this to let off some steam.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I hope it never comes to violence.
I do too. I just went through the last 3 days. Every night I go to sleep, I was watching all of the Mandalorian extras. What are those called? The documentary things they've got? I can't remember.
Yeah, like behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, that's from the first season.
Yeah, but there's one when you get to the last one. It's on the second season. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they got a second season one too?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay.
So I just went through all those again and then realized there was one for the second season, much to my surprise and delight. But then also I went through all the Mandalorians too, going to sleep at night, just so that I can get my mind off politics, guys. Just
you can't. Go ahead. Sorry.
What's interesting is that I think most of us started to be more active on YouTube or with other YouTubers and on Twitter is because of The Last Jedi, in a way, just to express our dislike of it and see if there's other people that agree or not. And that kind of grew into its own conversations and other things going on. And then at some point, the that was early politics stuff, like Ghostbusters area, all that stuff. And then now it's seeped into everything.
Hello, boys.
What's up, Chrissy?
Hello.
Good to see you. I saw you wanted to get in on this.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Well, Rookie, that was propaganda era for this whole operation, really.
That was first base. Yeah,
it's like we're all like, hey, this is a little funky, and then now it's everywhere. And we're like, man,
they're running third base, dude.
It's always so surprising because I always feel like I'm always caught in the middle with my family because my parents are straight Republicans, always have been. Most of the other family, conservative, liberal, libertarian type thing, and me, I've just been in the middle, and I'm just like, shit, am I Republican now?
No, don't think about party. Think about you're a sovereign being. You're an independent citizen. First and foremost, protected by the Constitution.
Well, it's always so funny. I just got off you don't understand. I just got off the phone with my uncle, and he was talking about all this stuff about they're gonna get us the $2,000 and with the stimulus. I said no. I'll believe it when it happens, and it's people just vote to vote. They don't find out anything with the party or not with the individuals and stuff like that.
I hate to say it, but most people don't vote.
I did that too. I have voted since I was 18, and I will continue.
First time I ever voted was in when Obama first got elected. The first time I ever dabbled my foot and like, oh, I'm gonna vote like a dummy. I voted for Obama twice, and then I saw all this stuff start. Like, okay, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I'm still a registered Democrat. I was classic liberal. Like, live your life, leave me the fuck out of it, out of your problems. And then all this stuff. Oh, you have to think this way. You have to do this, talk like this. I'm like, no. I've never been about that. I didn't mean to override you. I'm sorry.
No, that was what I was saying. Well, I can also say that too. Like, what's amazing is probably all four of us have total different things that we believe or what we think should impact and stuff like that. But we can still have a good casual conversation.
See, I think
it's going to come back to Star Wars, right? Like, but we all love Star Wars.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't give two shits about Star Wars or Star Trek.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
But it's
that
like
makes two of us.
But like with social media, it's just like with AOC. I think she's batshit crazy.
Not so.
Definitely.
And I'm like, what? Any sane, rational person? What is she talking about?
Being a barkeep to.
She looks like she talks too much. Like, I don't like my bartender to talk too much.
Yeah.
Just go get the drink, and
I think
they don't like you.
I think Jeff and I think Rookie is the baby of the group.
Yeah, I'm the youngin.
On this day.
Are
you
you
have a smooth, silky voice?
Rookie, are you in your 30s?
I will turn 27 this month.
Oh shit!
I'm a little baby.
Yeah, I'm 10 years older than him.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm a year older. Oh no, so don't feel alone there, buddy.
No.
You're older than me?
But what I'm saying is, like, Rookie's
Okay,
the youngest. All three of us are in the middle, mid-30s, or if not 40 range, stuff like that. So it's like how raised differently and stuff like that. But you can always, when it just comes down to, I want a job. I want to be able to just afford a place to live. That's it. I need to pay gas in my car. Need to pay my bills. And
I want more than that. I don't want to just get by anymore. Like my whole life, it's been about just getting by, having enough for insurance, having enough for gas, having enough for groceries this week. And we can live in America. We should be living a lot better than this. It's been proven economically, we should be living a lot better than this. Now, I know I sound like some sort of freak bag. Hey, let's go occupy somewhere.
No, you don't. No. See, the whole thing about America is it's the land of opportunity. Everything is open to you. It's not the land of equal outcome. So anytime you want something, you have to go work for it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm getting there. I'm not perfect.
yeah.
But I'm enjoying myself along the way. It's a struggle every day, but it's something you learn not to bitch about, because eventually you're going to get to a place, and if anybody here has that time app where all your posts from the past come up, you're going to look at yourself back in the past and like, God damn, I should have shut my mouth.
Well, honestly, I agree with you.
Hopefully you come around and you earn, and you'll always get what you deserve.
Yeah.
You sounded like the Joker right there. You get what you fucking deserve.
I know. I like to do the double entendres. But truly, the harder you work, the better you get.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overstep. Sorry.
Go ahead. My bad.
No. I was just going to say, I don't think any of us want to be jaded and stuff like that.
Oh,
but
you get jaded, but you have to work through it.
I got jaded real quickly. Like,
that happens with young people. I was very jaded. Oh my God.
Well, it's not even that. It's if I see someone that succeeds and they have worked their ass off for it, I'm going to support that person 110%.
100%. Yeah.
Just because they have worked it. That's how I've done it. I'm the first one who went to college, first one in my family.
You don't make it. You have to keep making it.
Exactly. But when I see someone else achieve the same thing just by someone like a helping hand or the parent or something like that, that kind of skews your view, my view on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you get jealous, but as you get older, you're like, I don't need that in my life. I'm gonna do it on my own.
I don't get
Yeah,
jealous.
well,
I just get pissed.
You know,
Well, it's actually that I have
younger people get jealous.
I have a comparison to make exactly with that. This was a couple years ago. I was working at 2 Subways at once, 2 different franchises, so it was different owners and everything. And one of them, I was essentially the manager without the title or pay. Like I would train new people, I would do the inventory, I'd all the paperwork stuff. I'd pretty much run the store except for scheduling people, and that was pretty much it. And for 6 months, I was doing that, and then but like I was getting paid minimum wage. And as I'm training new people, sometimes I'm just kind of like, man, y'all barely have to do anything, and I'm getting the same amount as this. Just like it was really getting annoying because I'm doing, so much more work for the same amount of work as the noob that walks in and barely does anything.
Yeah,
And I'm like, man, this is awful.
I hear you on that. I've had jobs like that, and when you step back and because you don't want to do it, they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give you a little bit of positivity going into this year. I know everything looks pretty rough, and believe me, I'm on that page with you. But for some strange reason, and there's a twofold to this, for some strange reason, every year after a president is elected, a new president, whether it was completely corrupt and bullshit or not, there's a good economic year that follows. It's been proven. It's historical. It always happens. This year is going to be a good economy. I know we're going to see the end of stupid virus one way or another. So, but now that's the positive side. The twofold, the second side is that the following year, if everything looks like it's going to be the way it's looking like it's going to be, I bet
change year to decade.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we're
not just single year by year. It's going to be over decades.
What's going to be over decades?
The rise and fall. When we crash, when we rise, it won't just be in a year. It'll be over a decade.
Oh, you mean so basically after the good year, we're going to go to a 10-year spiral?
Well, then a 10-year rise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like if 2020 taught us anything, we're a resilient country. I guess with all the whatever crap we shoot ourselves, how many times we shoot ourselves in the foot with something, we're still standing.
Hey,
at least by the end of the day.
At least nobody else shot us in the foot.
I have never shot myself in my foot, but my uncle.
Well, you know what I mean. It wasn't another country who did it.
Yeah, I was referring to the riots and other things. I guess like through all these conditions, we survived the storm essentially. And like this is a question
that might depend on that though, Rookie. I mean, everyone's experience is different and stuff like that. I see what happened last week and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I think some of them were really dumbasses for doing that. But hell, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. But it's just like the stuff like with the BLM stuff or any of the quote unquote peaceful protesting, whatever you want to say it, all the looting and stuff like that, especially in the Dallas area where that went on for damn near 10 days. My best friend, who is her father is Black and her mother is Hispanic. Her parents had their own small business for 27 years. And they had to close up shop because it cost more money to get it fixed.
Yeah.
You were talking about
they
that.
had.
Yeah.
And so how you're telling me that y'all are doing this for these people. And what I mean by this is these people, anyone who is not a white person.
Right.
That's what you're saying. Right. But yet you're going and you're doing that. You're going into these small business areas. Oh, click.
It feels like
it's mind-boggling.
It feels like don't see that. It feels like it's Nazi Germany in the.
I don't want to go that far.
The white people are the new Jews. That's what it feels like some days. If you watch enough news, that's what it feels like. Especially during the summer, that's what it felt like to me. Hating white people is now so open and brazen. I've never seen anything like it except in Nazi Germany.
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's a big difference in it, though. I don't know. I feel like we can we can take it for right now, and whatever goes on, it's just whatever.
First and foremost, white people should never see themselves as victims. This attack on whites, whatever. Get over it. We'll be fine. Like it has to be water off a duck's back, because anytime you act out, you're like, see, told ya.
That's ridiculous, and then they can act that way. That's the thing that's crazy to me. Like,
No. If they actually want to come down to fisticuffs, they'll get their asses handed to them.
Well, that's for sure.
Go ahead and take your video out of context, but make sure there's always someone there that gets the whole thing. You're being attacked, and as soon as you defend yourself, oh, evil white man.
Yep.
Well, we can lead to that, but I find it so amazing that I hear people preaching about that and white person this or this Caucasian this or whatnot.
I remember
when
growing
I'm
up.
talking to,
go ahead.
but I'm talking like with the media and social media and stuff like that, and posting and videos. But when you are interacting with day-to-day people, so what's the shit they're talking about? Where's this at? You don't see it.
It ain't here. It's not here. I see people every day, and nobody even really cares what the news says. Florida, you know,
Yeah,
what it is.
right. But I mean, this thing we're adapting to this new world that we're in, I suppose. If anything,
It's the same world. You have to fight against the evil.
What I meant to say was it's been changing quicker than before, probably. Like it's been moving faster, and so people aren't as settled with everything entirely because something's changing again and again and again and again. So it's
a daily change.
So we're
everyone loses their bearings, and then you have chaos.
Yeah, but it's the adjusting to how quick things change is, I guess.
It'll all be different tomorrow. Don't worry. It's Dark City all over again.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And I guess there's been instances in the past where there's been horrible things where businesses dried up. I think in New York, like certain towns just dropped businesses and weren't able to do things. And at some point it picked back up again. I feel like it sucks that a lot of businesses were lost throughout the last year, but I think in a couple of years or so, things will be, coming back around enough. Maybe
people who know how to run businesses will run businesses
really
again.
Tell me, guys, what you think about this. Will you believe that your vote will ever count again?
No.
So what's going to change until that's fixed?
A lot more bloodshed.
That's what I see.
I don't want it, but I'll goddamn fucking enforce my oath.
Well, that's a good point too, Christy.
I've heard it all my life. Like your vote never counts, but right now is the most blatant thing. And if you don't see how corrupt it is, I don't know what to tell you. Fine, whatever. But yeah, maybe our votes never did count.
I think it did in 2016.
Here's my thing.
Oh yeah, that fucking took place, right?
People when
they underestimated that motherfucker.
Your vote matters. Your vote's supposed to matter.
Should.
Like that, right?
I believe in my Constitution, but right now it's really under attack.
I understand that. But people always saying vote this president or vote this nomination or whatever. Okay, where is that same instance when with the city, county, and fucking state elections?
Oh yeah, it's all blue now.
I don't see that.
Yeah,
people like, Mayor so and so got it
year.
Yeah,
there are like 2 or 3 counties in Georgia that are blue, and you mean to tell me? And I'm right here in the heart of Georgia. You mean to tell me that the whole state went blue? It's crazy. It's crazy. No way in hell. No way in hell.
Mm-mm.
Well, it's
That's
like
cheating.
my thing. Part of it is the fact that how the elections usually seem to work. Whenever they do them anyway, like when there was a shit ton of the candidates before, and they're like, there's some people that don't have as much at the moment, so we're going to drop them out. But they're traveling around whatever ends of the country first. But it's like if you started at a different end or went to different ones first, your numbers would change or grow, but you drop out, and we're only picking what's left. It's like nobody wants any of these people to be the leader. Essentially, if anything, we kind of want like what we see in movies that we watch or games that we play. We want to see the
It's
one
truly
person,
inspiring.
the one person that was a citizen, stands up and fights and does something. Becomes a leader. They didn't want to be it really, but they kind of end up being being at it.
The underdog.
The underdog.
But then they get to Washington.
Yeah.
And it fucking changes.
Exactly. It's like, well, I think that's the thing. Whenever you're in a leadership system, it always changes. Even it's like I hear a lot of people think that if we upturn upside down and citizens take over or whatever and have whatever strongest ones win, that we'll be able to make things right. And I'm like, well, I don't even know, because there's other countries to consider. There's how things are currently running in like that people don't know about. That could just, it's not as simple as it used to be, where overcome the castle and now you win and now you're in charge. It's a little different than that, I feel, in the modern day. Like it's not that simple.
What else is there to do?
Well, I don't know, but I'm saying that's not like, it's like, oh, that's the clearest option. It's like, well,
Clearest option, Constitution, 100%.
Yep, 100%. I agree with that. The Constitution gives us inalienable rights given by God. And
I don't give a fuck what the media says. We're not terrorists. We're not fucking Antifa. We're not fucking that
right,
bullshit. So, I ain't burning nothing down.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm saying, as far as to cause change specifically,
change.
You mean in a positive way? How do you do that when you're not allowed to fight back on social media in public?
And anything you do is seen as terrorism.
But that's okay. But that's the thing. That's not my fucking fault that person sees that, or sees that post, or sees that news, or can't wrap their brain around that fucking thing. So I'm going to go on to the next person. That's not my fault that people can't see that. So I'm not going to waste my time with that kind of narrative and trying to change them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
it brings.
But at the same time, maybe that person's just misguided. I mean, it's a hard sell. I mean, you're right. But what about the people? Like, I was one of those people. I didn't even fucking know it.
I was one
time ago.
How do you know what is the truth? How do you know it's a real fact?
Experience, learn.
Experience, environment, and you need to learn.
That's right.
If you want to do the two part, if you want to look at the whole Democrats and Republican type thing, if you want to switch it that way, learn about this candidate, learn about this party. What do they do better? What do they do this? I can watch any spectrum of the news I fucking want, but if I only watch one fucking perspective, then I'm not fucking learning anything. So I don't watch the news.
You know, guys, that's one of the problems I'm having with my kids, to be honest with you. My youngest is completely Republican, and I would dare say borders on just too much, you know. But my other two are a little older. They're just in college, and they have fallen into this trap. We can't even talk politics when my kids are around.
Don't do it there, man. They're fucking kids. The first foremost, do not be consumed by politics. First and foremost, know thyself.
Yeah.
Know thyself. You don't have to. You can live your life with your perfect who you are, what you are, but have no opinions about any other people, because you have enough struggle to know who you are.
Yeah, but I want to give that experience and that learnedness to not just my kids. Obviously, they're first, but how do you do that when the things around you are like the news? They're saying that, hey, my dad's wrong. Hey, not only the news, but
my kids say that already.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can accept that level, but not the media, social media, their friends, the teachers, literally the teachers. It's hard to find that.
Well, here's the thing.
Impossible.
Especially even whenever I graduated in high school in the early 2000s, when I say that, like 2001, 2002, I wasn't going to listen to what my fucking instructor said just because that's the way I was supposed to learn it and that she told me. And especially after I went to college for a few years, and instead of just teaching me what needed to be taught in this book, I don't want your world experience. I want you to teach me what you're supposed to teach me. I give two shits about what happened this time with you at this thing.
You're right, but I've had teachers, all they did was teach the facts and it was boring. But that doesn't mean fill your head full of shit either.
Exactly. But again, you have to have a obviously, I mean, all of us have had a public I had a public school education. I didn't learn half of the shit that I was supposed to learn in history books and stuff like that. Most of that shit I learned after I got out of high school.
Well, and how much is retained, honestly?
Exactly.
What did you learn in 7th grade? What did you learn in 12th grade?
Yeah.
There were certain teachers I really cared for.
Yeah, there's certain ones that have the flair to it that can teach.
When I was in 12th
well.
grade English, I was really good at English. And my teacher said at the beginning of the year, whoever out of all, we had 7 periods in high school, whoever gets the best grade in my class, she was a pilot. And I want to take you out on a plane ride. It was a Cessna biplane. And I got the best one. And yeah, you couldn't do that shit nowadays. Me and Liz Hyatt, she took me up in an airplane. I didn't even tell my parents. I was like, whoa, I got the best grade in
now
school.
here's the skydiving portion.
I know. She let me steer it. I'm like, oh fuck, here comes a fog bank. And it looked like the fog is lower than where we are. It was really cool. But you can't do that nowadays. I learned shit not because I got rewards, but you know.
I was bad at English. I walked out of there learning German, but
I was horrible at German. I was really good at French, though.
Oh, really? That's all I know.
No, I forgot it all. But come to find out, all my family's from the Pyrenees Mountains in between France and Spain. I didn't know that.
Nice.
That's cool.
Like I picked it, like when I was younger, French became very easy for me. Spanish, not so much.
Did you know
but German worse? And and then I grew up, joined the army, and I go where? Fucking Germany. German was my worst language.
I learned German in college. I took 2 semesters of it because I was totally into the teacher's daughter, and actually turned into a friendship, and that was fun.
There we go.
But I also
that's not that kind of story I want to hear. You ever had sex with a German girl?
No, actually, I did
not. Me neither.
I'm sorry.
No, well, I was on post, and we'd go out and go downtown Frankfurt and stuff. A lot of the German girls, if you can't speak at least a little bit of German, worst language for me, they won't even talk to you. But they know English.
They know English. A lot of countries know multiple languages. And by the way, I drop this in there. In 1991 through 1993, I was training to be a Cessna pilot. I flew the 151 and the 151B, whatever it was, a 4-seater and a 6-seater. I'm okay with flying it.
The one I was in was just a 2-seater.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then and that's great. I mean, there's no difference except there's less seats. Really.
Yeah.
But that's not my feet staying on the ground.
Tell me about it.
Ditto. Stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Today, my feet stay on the ground. But guess what I did in the Army? Aviation.
I was 25 years old before I got on my first airplane. I had to go to California with my sister.
Oh, bless you.
We had to get the takeoff is like at 8:30, so we got there like 6:15, 6:30, and I got drunk. I was drunk.
You must have loved it when your ears popped and the pressure changed, huh?
Nah, if they did, I didn't even feel it.
When I was on my first plane, they're like saying, "Oh, got to hold on to your ears when we take off." I'm like, "Why?" Oh, they said they'll pop, and for some reason I heard that as pop off. So I'm like clinging onto my ears.
This shit's gonna pop off, yo.
Jamming my hands into my head, going, "I'm keeping them on."
And it's so funny because we went to LA. We went to LA area in 2009, and I hated California before I even ever went there. I went to California twice, and I went once in 2009 and then again in 2012. I hate California. I think that is one of the shittiest states in the fucking United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the countryside is no excuse.
And to the people who live there, well, maybe not California, maybe it's just LA. I fucking hate LA.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Why? Isn't it great and
No, it's not.
magical? Isn't it
No.
magical?
It's expensive. You have all these Hollywood rich people, but then the next thing you see people with nice bags and people homeless walking on the street at the same fucking time. That is mind-boggling.
Yeah, we get that in Daytona too.
Homeless dude with gold chains around his neck. You're like, what?
It's not quite like that in Daytona. Like, you have people who are not homeless, and then you have people who are homeless, and they just pass each other in the street.
Well, I mean, I still pass people, homeless people, but what I mean by that is like, I mean, I'm like, I know that's an Hermes bag. I know those shoes and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck?
You're like, you shouldn't be this homeless.
Exactly.
You could be a little less homeless.
I literally off the interstate one day, and there was this guy there, and he said,
Stop being poor.
"We'll work for food." I literally went to hand him a sandwich, and he walked away. I was like, "What the fuck?"
He ain't starving.
He's not starving, man. He was making money hand over fist at that exit ramp.
And then pretends like there ain't no food stamps. Homeless people get food stamps.
I'm more willing to give a homeless person a tip if they do something. There's this one dude on the corner of one of my streets that there's like 3 homeless dudes. They'll sit across from him on one of the corners. They're just holding a sign that says "Feed me" or whatever. And he sets up 3 little jars. He's got little lights that he got up. He saved up enough to get like a little karaoke thing, and he just goes and sings. He's like, giving everybody a good time with whatever, singing some kind of jazzy type of a thing. And I'm like, dude, he's putting in the effort to try to make a few bucks. Like,
that's cool.
I'll give him $1. But then I look at the ones that are sitting down with the sign, and I'm like, no, I'm going to give it to the one that's, standing up, working it, trying to do something,
Bottle falling out of their jacket. They're like sleeping on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
Some of them look like they're well off, or some look like they're like, feed me. And I see like this giant bag of food. And I'm like, I know that people probably just gave that to you, but it looks like you're fine. I don't know.
Well, what's so amazing? Dallas County, Richardson, Irving, Grand Prairie, surrounding cities, panhandling is illegal. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the fire departments and other little churchish organizations will go out and stuff like that. Like, especially like the fire departments will get their fire boot and walking around into intersections, and the lights, want to help support. Nah, if it's illegal to people to do this, y'all can't be doing this shit either. And I always get dirty looks. I don't give a shit. And Flip is gone.
It's his technology is fun.
Boomer.
Yeah, he says, dang, internet's acting up again. Here he is once again.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. What I was trying to say is that this homeless guy comes where I work and plays the electric violin. He plays like all these.
Oh, wow.
It's really beautiful, actually. Really amazing.
I wish the homeless people in Daytona had a talent.
That's great.
They ain't got shit, man. They were shambling, rambling, just walking, sludging down the sidewalk.
I don't know.
It's a transient state, so I'm sure you guys have better quality homeless than we do.
No.
Yeah,
I live in the Dallas area. No.
Yeah, I've never been.
I want to see a Dallas homeless show.
Hell no.
Don't do it. I've seen homeless people try to put comedy shows together about the homeless people in Daytona. It's just a fucking sickening, depressing thing.
No, I mean, you got to videotape them so you can cut out all the shit you don't want to see. But I'm sure there's some funny adventures with some, and they can make a few bucks off it too.
Man, I'm telling you, true. Get there where you've got homeless strippers. Now there's a skit that I want to.
I can't watch that because that puts a pit in my stomach. Like,
no, see, it'd be the reverse. You pay them to put clothes on.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you put those rags on? Here's $10 to cover your chest.
Hey,
so I don't gotta see it.
Homeless dress up. Who's ready?
Yeah.
I mean, you
put a pink little dress on this guy.
No, I can't. I can't watch stuff like that.
Put a clown nose on him. It's not like I'm tattooing bum fights on his forehead or anything.
Yeah, but I've been there. I've
No, I've been homeless.
yeah,
but
I've
I
been
kept my
homeless,
job.
so I can't like
Yeah.
the bum fights and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't.
I know all that.
No,
I'm a
just
privileged
dress
white
up.
boy.
Homeless, dress up. It's okay.
You know what?
They haven't come out on a red carpet and then they do a little strut
Well, the way
in
you
the costume you dressed them up in.
Daytona, the way you spin it is that these people are acting like they're homeless. They're not really
Oh,
homeless.
these motherfuckers do here.
Yeah.
It's a profession. It's like I've been among them and I'm like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you
But
got
that was years ago.
help the real
Yeah.
homeless, absolutely. And
Exactly.
those that are full of it, they walk away when you offer help. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly young people who are bums here. And the old ones, they know better.
But
It's just the way they are now. But the young ones, they're doing it on purpose. There's lots of woods to live in. There's a soup kitchen they can go to. Their needs are met. And,
You know what?
and
Though, in America,
it's
you shouldn't
disheartening.
have homeless. We shouldn't have that situation in America.
No, we shouldn't. But
Well, you can't just throw money at them and expect them to thrive. You have to teach them things.
well, yeah,
And a
there-
lot of these
that-
people are just beyond teaching. They don't want to do it. Not all.
There's been
Just
there's
the
been
ones
some
I've seen.
studies. There's been some studies where you could give like a whole town $10,000 and only like 1%
Crack.
will have more money.
All they do is fucking spend it on crack.
A little bit will have the same money, not having spent it at all, and the rest will be like in debt, essentially.
yeah.
But we actually got to close out pretty soon. I forgot FANZCENE invited us to stream as well, Flip. So we gotta. That's in like a half an hour.
Yeah, no problem.
So if you guys have any last things you want to say on this, I know we went from social media stuff to homeless people, but if you guys wanted to say anything else, Daytona, any last words over here?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rookie Critic. Thank you, Flipped Out. Thank you, Christy. And my name is Burton. And my channel is named Daytona Falls, the only show that goes nowhere and does nothing except make fun of our own lives and have some laughs along the way. Thank you very much. Don't sub. I'm just kidding. Because if I get big, I'll get canceled. But please like, comment, and share. And we'll talk to you later. And thank you so much for sharing my videos, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You kidding me? I've been a big follower of yours, man.
Yeah, you don't watch my videos. I did a good one about the High Republic, and it's a different kind of take. Like, look at me. I'm a fucking drunk. I'm a responsible man. I have my own home. But on YouTube, I like to get a little loose, and I'm never going to lie to you. Thank you so much.
Very good. Appreciate it, man. Glad you could stop on by. It's good seeing you. According to Christy, what's up?
What's up?
Any last?
So normally I'd say we like go to the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Parler. I mean, I've created like so many different like social media accounts in the last 3 days. Like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Go to the social medias.
The social medias. Just subscribe to the people that you like. Like if it's something weird or you like it, subscribe, comment and stuff like that. There's little comments like, this is great. Thank you so much. I like this, or maybe different takes, like legitimate
or encouragement, just saying, hey, keep going, you'll get better.
Exactly. It goes a long way. So thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. It was good hearing your thoughts, your perspective. Yeah, well, we don't have you on enough. You're a fun one. You're a fun one to bring on.
Thank you for Daytona. For Daytona, you still have your Christmas lights up, dude.
No, I do it on purpose. It's on my carport, so I don't have to turn on the bright lights.
Nice.
I took all the Christmas lights down except these ones. I'm outside freezing my ass off.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have both of you on. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. My first time on, by the way.
Is it Daytona, Florida?
Yeah, Daytona Beach.
How are you cold?
It's like 46 degrees with humidity.
That's not cold.
I know. With ocean breeze.
That's t-shirt weather.
Exactly.
Not if you're on the beach.
27 degrees outside.
Yeah, but you don't have a beach blowing fucking Atlantic air on you.
By a lake.
Well, touche. And no, look, I'm out here, and my hands are cold, and I'm wearing flip flops, which is fine.
But you made that choice.
Here I am, and I'm ready to defend myself.
That's all good. But Flip, any announcements we got until next time?
Talk to the printers today. We had a couple of things we had to readjust, but we're just about to go to print, so everything is.
We're talking about print. You got a Indiegogo or something?
We did. Yeah, we have FC trading cards about to come out, and yeah, they're all sold already. But we're going to be doing another batch shortly thereafter, later this year.
This one was a test run to see how much we can do and how many people
I saw
take note
a
of
couple
it.
of your cards. I didn't recognize anybody, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we have a good mix of people that are kind of well known and some that aren't as well known, but that's kind of the fun of it.
Nice.
We got little QR codes on the back of them, so you can just do a scan and go right to their channel.
How much do I have to pay to get a card?
we'll be figuring out some other.
I want my own card, and then I'll buy all your cards.
We'll be figuring out some of that stuff pretty soon. This one was just the first time that we put it up for people to purchase. So yeah, we'll be figuring that out soon. It's also we have to discuss it with our artist and everything. So
I wanted to say Fallon is going to be on Lorena's stream when Friday, I think. Her
lunchtime or
yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
That's
so
awesome.
Support Fallon reaction. I think she's almost at 200.
Oh, hell, she's I love her. She's so fast at things, but there's so many. She's on so many things. I don't know what to follow. She's a millennial me. She's Get Wrecked. She's I don't know if she's Fallon Reacts anymore on her channels 13th. Now. So, I don't know. 13th hour, right? Yeah, I don't know which one's the main one, but she's doing a lot of stuff, guys. So follow all her stuff.
She also posts for the FC during the day on. Well, the days change, but it's usually 4 days a week. So yeah.
Follow all her stuff.
Yep.
She actually breaks a lot of stuff. She also breaks a lot of stuff that other people don't yet, like a day or two before bigger YouTube channels catch on to it sometimes. So it's a good one to catch. But all right. So ending on that, we gotta go to the next stream. Sec Flip.
Bye.
Yep. Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for
bye, guys. Thank you. See ya.
And hopefully, yeah, everything's gonna end up all good. I don't know what to say with words right now as I end.